What's up, guys? We just got a lot of exciting stuff for Guilty Gear Strive. They have released the Jacko gameplay guide, so we can get a taste of how the character is going to play before she comes out for early access tomorrow. And we also got the patch notes for the upcoming balance patch. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. We're going to go through Jacko first. If you want to skip ahead and just see what's happening in the patch, I'm going to put the chapters down on the timeline so you can click there. But for now, let's look at Jacko and see how this character looks like she's going to play, because I think she looks pretty amazing.
Jacko fights by summoning servants. Take control of the ever-changing battlefield as you go on the offense.
All right, first of all, what's with this guy's voice? I'm not making fun of him. His voice has a lot of gravitas. It's just strange because the other ones, it sounded like it was just a normal guy, and now it's like, is this Soul Bad Guy talking to us right now? But yeah, we're seeing some of her minion manipulation. Definitely Jacko's core mechanic here.
This move summons a servant. Servant gauge is required to summon them.
So yeah, we didn't know this from watching her first trailer, but she does have a unique gauge. It looks like it just fills over time, and then you have to spend a third of it to summon a minion, and you're gonna have to spend a third of it to do various other actions that we'll see later.
You can use servants as projectiles by hitting them with an attack.
So this is kind of the mind-blowing thing to me. Just the fact that any attack that you do, if it hits the servant, is going to interact with it and let you, like, smack the servant around. So that, to me, that just seems insane. Like, that seems so strong, and I think that that's going to be, like, one of her core gameplay mechanics, is putting out servants and then putting out attacks and just making these unpredictable angles and patterns and stuff like that. It seems good to me.
Hitting them with an attack. Servants disappear either when an opponent's attack hits them or after a set period of time.
So yeah, that was another thing we didn't know from watching. The opponent can smack the servants and make them go away, so that's worth noting.
This move picks up a nearby servant.
A lot of these moves for now are going to be a little boring, I think.
But you can dash backwards.
It's like, yep, she can pick them up, she can throw them around.
This move throws a servant forward that you've picked up.
I don't really know if you're going to be doing this, because I feel like just smacking them is better, right? Than throwing them? I don't know.
This move releases a servant you've picked up. Once
yeah, I'm not sure why you would ever do this either.
At your location.
Not really sure about that. Maybe there's some sick setups you can do.
Hitting them with an aerial attack after releasing them in the air.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
This move collects all servants that are currently summoned. The servant gauge refills once they've been recalled. Servant gauge is required to activate this move.
So they don't talk about this, but I feel like there's another sort of hidden use of this move, which is just that it's a short special move. So it's possible you could use it as sort of like a stance cancel or like Roman cancel type thing. Do like a heavy slash, cancel it into recover, and then combo off it. They don't show anything like that, but I imagine something like that would be possible. And you might be able to do a really crazy combo because now you have all these servants loaded up, so I don't know.
Move. Attack command. This move causes all currently summoned servants to attack. As it launches the opponent on hit, you can follow up with a combo.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
It also works well as a poke or in setup.
The 3 servants attacking in sequence is so nuts. I love that.
It's fast startup and recovery. Servant gauge is required to activate this
Yeah,
move.
that's sick too. Cross-ups with the servant attack.
Command. This move creates a barrier around all servants.
Yeah, we saw this in the trailer as well. And you can see, by the way, all these moves are costing 1/3 of the servant meter. Worth noting.
Opponent attacks a servant with their barrier up. It causes the opponent to crumple.
Yeah, that's nice that you have counterplay to the idea that opponents are going to be wanting to punch the servants and get rid of them. It's nice that you can use the defend to stop that.
This works well against opponents who try to get rid of servants by attacking them.
And yeah, you can also, like, you could, like, set up a wall of servants. And then if you see, like, Soul doing, like, Bandit Bringer or something, just activate the defend thing, and then the wall of shields will go up. That would be pretty cool as well.
You can follow up with Forever Elysion.
Yeah, and see there, you could kind of see that she used the servant summoning as a bit of, like, a Roman cancel type idea.
You can follow up with
See, like, like quickly canceling attack into the servant summon. That's really
Release
really
on
cool.
driver while the opponent is stunned. Servant gauge is required to activate this
The
move.
comboing into her super.
Countdown. This move causes all currently summoned servants to explode. The servants vanish
Yeah,
after
isn't the explosion really small? Don't you guys think? I kind of expected a
but it
bigger
causes
hitbox
heavy
on that.
damage. It takes time before the explosion goes off, so buy some time with Jack O's normal attacks. Servant gauge is required to activate this move.
That's a lot of damage though. With all three
Servant
explosions
shift,
hitting, that was a
an
ton.
attack that hits in front of Jack O. By hitting servants with this move, you can send them flying far off. This works well as a poke at long range.
Yeah, I don't really know how much you're going to be using this move, because the thing is, like, you can just hit them with normals, right? I guess this sends them, like,
This move
faster.
can be canceled into some
See, it's more
special
like a
moves.
fireball. So maybe that will
Forever
have a lot of
Elysian
use.
Driver.
I'm not sure.
An extremely damaging throw.
Yeah, the
This move can be
unblockable
used in
super.
combos, or to interrupt your opponent's offense due
But
to the
it looks like it must be
invincibility on
jumpable after the
startup.
flash. So it's not a
Be
mix-up.
careful with this move, as it whiffs unless you are extremely close to the opponent. Cheer Servant on.
Cheers,
This
servant
move
on.
grants a temporary buff to servants. The slash version makes servants invincible, meaning they no longer disappear when the
Yeah,
opponent
that's
attacks
great.
them.
That's a good buff.
The heavy slash version makes the servant gauge recover very quickly, making it possible to launch a combination offense together with your servants.
Let's go. I love that kind of stuff,
Good use
dude.
of the servants you summon to create an opportunity to attack.
All right, so she doesn't have that many moves. We've gone through all our moves already. Basically, all her moves are just like summon servants, throw servants, make the servants attack or block. That's like all her moves. I assumed that she was going to be a pretty complex character, and I think to a degree she will be, because there's just a lot of possibilities with how you use the servants. There's a lot of choices you're going to have to make in the match, but she really does not have a lot of moves. But this is my favorite part of the guide here, is just seeing this little gameplay, because she does some crazy
Mix
stuff.
the opponent up with her dust attack or throw once you're in close range.
Nice
If your
frame trap
opponent
there, by
tries
the way.
To prevent you from summoning servants, use standing kick or far standing slash as pokes.
Yeah, throwing the servant, chasing behind, making the
Is
servant
also
attack,
easily
kicking
used
the
and has
servant.
a lot of
There
active
is
frames.
a lot
Her
happening.
aerial dust attack can keep the opponent from approaching.
Look at that!
Once you
Okay, so for a split second,
frames,
we see something
her
sick here.
aerial
Watch
dust
this.
attack can keep the opponent
So, standing heavy slash, and like the back part of the heavy slash hits the servant, I think? Yeah, look. Boom. She whacks the servant. So it looks like heavy slash is just always going to send the servant forward because of like the clockwise motion of her spinning legs. So that sends in the servant. Then she special cancels it into the servant attack and then pressures afterwards. That is so sick. So yeah, like it looks like she has a ton of moves, right? But when you think about it, like, okay, summon servant, pick up servant, throw servant, release servant. Those are like, you know, not really attacks or anything. And then recover, bring all the servants back. Attack command, one of her only actual special move attacks. I think she definitely seems a bit more approachable than I was expecting. I was expecting her to be like really crazy. It seemed like she had a lot of mechanics in the initial trailer. It looks like her mask doesn't do anything. It's just for looks. I don't even know if you can take the mask off. We didn't see anything like that in this. Maybe like her super removes it. I don't know. But yeah, she looks cool. Excited to play her. She comes out for early access if you have the season pass tomorrow, the 27th. And she comes out for everyone else, I believe, on the 30th. So yeah, definitely going to be playing her. Might try to get the Celestial with her. We'll see how it goes.
Once you have control of the
But yeah,
field, use
I think she looks pretty
on
cool. But
and
that's
move
only
into the
only
realm.
half the news, guys. The other half of the news is the patch notes. Let's pull those up. All right, so first of all, I really want to shout out Arc System Works. They gave us the patch notes early, which sometimes fighting game developers have a track record of either giving us no patch notes at all or giving them to us like after the patch already comes out, where people have already been like hustling to figure out what happened. They gave it to us early, and what I love, love, is they put this section balance intentions. Not only are they telling us what changed, they're telling us this is what we were thinking. This is why we decided to make that change. Oh my god, every developer better start doing this, bro. This is so good. Even if you don't agree with it, like, even if you think, like, okay, this character didn't actually need this change, at least you can see why they did it. I hate when there's changes that are just like a mystery. You're like, why did they decide to change this? But now they're actually telling you. So thank you, Arcsys. Honestly, they're doing such a good job with communication between the developers' backyards, the trailers, all that stuff, and now the patch notes. They're doing such an amazing job, you know, keeping the players in the loop with what's happening and explaining why they're doing the things that they're doing. So nothing but respect for Arc System Works for doing that. But let's jump in here. There's some bug fixes here. Doesn't really matter. I'm a little upset. No changes to the lobby. The lobby is not getting fixed in any way, at least that I saw in here, unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully they're going to keep working on the lobby because there's still a lot of bugs with that. Adjustments to battle balance are planned to take place in August and October. So there's going to be another patch in October. This update focuses on changes to identified issues such as individual moves. So I don't really know what that means. Like this patch is going to focus on like changing individual moves, whereas the next patch might be like more broad changes. I don't know. They are looking into improving and making changes to overall mechanics as well as certain actions such as projectile special moves and grounded overhead attacks in the update scheduled for October. So what do we think that means? Projectile special moves. Like, do they want projectiles to be better? Because for certain characters, I think projectiles are pretty weak. Like Kai, for example. And then grounded overhead attacks. I'm guessing they want more overheads, or they want overheads to be faster or stronger. Because I think high-low mix is not really strong right now in the game, with a few exceptions. It's mostly strike-throw mix for both of the characters, or for most of the characters. So that's the impression that I get from this. But anyway, we'll worry about that in October. Let's get into the changes we're getting now. Soul Bad Guy. You guys aren't gonna believe this. They buffed Soul Bad Guy. They buffed Soul Bad Guy. They nerfed him a little too. He got a mix. He got a mix of buffs and nerfs. They definitely did not destroy the character. I think a lot of people were thinking they're going to take away everything. They're going to make him trash. They definitely did not do that. They added knockback to far standing slash. This is one of his most broken moves. Change is minimal when blocked normally. It has a major impact when blocked with faultless defense. So, you know, I think maybe they could have reduced the frame advantage on far standing slash, and I would have been okay with that. But I think this is smart because it does require a little counterplay. If you're expecting far slash, you can FD and kind of stop his pressure a little bit easier. So, okay, I like that. Knockback on crouching kick decreased, making it easier to combo into sweep. So, it seems nice for him. S version of DP had its active time extended, making it more viable as an anti-air attack. But this now leaves Soul more open to attacks when whiffed or blocked by a grounded opponent. So yeah, that move was so hard to punish. Such a hard DP to punish. They're making it easier to punish. I like that. After blocking Bandit Bringer, it was difficult for both the player and the opponent to predict what would happen. It's now easier to put distance between Soul and the opponent after it's been blocked, and the situation is less likely to be impacted by the startup time of the opponent's close range options. So yeah, it's kind of hard to understand exactly what this means. They just said greatly increased knockback. I think the idea is they don't want you to be in like a janky situation where you don't know, are you going to be close enough to throw? Are you going to get counter hit by his standing kick? I think they just wanted to kind of go back to neutral after you block this move. That's my assumption. And then now, I actually like this change a lot. You can RC Wild Throw to combo off it. Listen, I know people are going to be like, why would they give Soul anything? He didn't need anything. But I think objectively, this is a good change because they're taking a move that basically did not have a use. You can see at a high level play, this move was never used unless it was going to kill, because his normal throw is just better generally, and his normal throw, you can RC it to combo off it. But now, Wild Throw, you can RC to combo off it, so if you really want the damage, you can go for Wild Throw. If you just want the faster startup and sort of the option select potential, you can go with normal throw. So I think that there's a nice trade-off now. You're going to have to actually choose which throw to use and not just use normal throw every time like most people were doing now. Not too much of import change. Like, okay, they made forward slash a little bit easier to counter hit. That's fine. So a mix of nerfs and buffs. I would say overall, the far standing slash thing is definitely going to be a big deal, as well as the nerfs to Bandit Bringer and Volcanic Viper. Those are good nerfs. Those are nerfs that people were talking to. Some of his other problematic moves, like 5K, did not get changed. But, you know, obviously we don't want them to just destroy the character without giving us a chance to see what happens. And I think it's good that, you know, they're buffing everyone else and they're giving Soul a mix here. He's still going to be strong, without a doubt. He's going to be very, very strong. Next up, we got Kai. I'm not going to read through everything here. I'm going to mostly just touch on the individual changes. Far standing slash, slight buffs here. Stun Dipper, I really, really like this. They're making it easier for the second hit to combo. This is generally just quality of life. I feel like once you get really good with Kai, this stops being as much of an issue. But like, Kai is meant to be an easy character, right? He's meant to be a beginner character. So it didn't really make sense to me that he had this move that's like really hard to use in combos. It's one of his most consistent combo enders, but you have to like really know your spacing to actually be able to apply it. So they're just making it a little bit better. And by decreasing the distance after the second hit, sounds like you might get some better Okizeme when you combo into it, so I like that. And then buffs to Dragon Install as well. Everyone kind of knew Dragon Install was pretty bad, so I like that they're buffing this. Decreasing the meter build penalty, speeding up the startup activation. They're making the hitbox bigger when it activates, so maybe it's a little easier to break the wall with this and stuff like that. And they're fixing, I guess, like accidental input problems with this move. So yeah, Dragon Install, one of the worst supers in the game. Glad they're buffing it. Overall, Kai did not get that much, but I think these are good changes. I'm happy with it for sure. Excited to see where things go with Kai. Mei, not too much has changed. Mei actually did kind of get a mix of buffs and nerfs, like nerfs to crouching slash, make it a little easier to counter poke. Far standing slash, a little bit smaller hitbox, but they decreased the hurt box as well. Overhead Kiss, her command throw, you can now combo off it mid-screen. Big buff, but it does have reduced damage to make up for that. I like this change because, you know, it was one of their like design philosophies with Strive, was like, instead of making you do a combo for damage, we're just going to make moves do a lot of damage, right? Like Wild Throw is the epitome of this. Wild Throw, you used to be able to combo off it, but now you just get 1,000,000 damage, which it makes it easier for beginners. That's why they did it. They made it so you don't always have to learn a bunch of combos to do anything, but it reduces sort of the freedom, the quote unquote room for expression, because by letting people do combos off stuff, that introduces a lot of decisions, like what combo ender am I going to go for? Am I going to value damage? Am I going to value Okizeme? Am I going to value meter build? Am I going to spend my meter? There's just a lot of decisions that come up when you introduce, you know, being able to combo off stuff. So they have now sort of undone that with Mei, now making combo off overhead kiss mid-screen, but in exchange, they're reducing the damage. So I know I talked a lot about a change that's pretty minor, but I like this because I feel like this is sort of a concession to the player base that, like, yeah, maybe we went a little bit too far in terms of just making everything do a ton of raw damage, and now we're going to make you work a little bit harder for the damage, but, you know, still hopefully maintain the approachability that Strive is well known for. Axel, I got to admit, I'm amazed. Axel's he's not the best character in the game, but he is very, very good. I'm like well convinced that Axel is really strong. I didn't think he was that strong when the game was new, but I've completely come around. He's like winning Evo and stuff. So yeah, Axel is a very amazing character, and he only got buffs. He only got big buffs, okay? Speed up Snail Startup. Now he can combo 2P or 5P into Snail against grounded opponents. Insane! I cannot believe they did this. I mean, I'm happy as an Axel player, but this is actually crazy. He did not need this, but it's fine. I'll take it. And then the buff that I actually wanted, which was his time stop super, you can cancel into the ready stance from special moves. So like you can do 5P Snail, cancel into the the ready stance for one vision, and then, you know, activate it shortly after. So okay, and then decrease the time of tension penalty while in the ready state. I don't know how much this is going to matter, but generally, like this and Dragon Install, I just feel like the tension penalties were a little too harsh, so I'm glad those are both getting buffed. So I love that they're buffing Time Stop. I still don't think it's going to be that good, but I like they're buffing it. And then this snail buff, he did not need this, but I'm going to be feasting online, man. The Celestial Axles are going to be enjoying these buffs, so good stuff. Chipp is up next. I love this note, dude. There was too much of a difference in facing opponents who could anti-air his aerial 2K. True, Arcsys. If you're playing Soul and you can just DP this move on reaction, that's nice. That's easy. But if you're playing like, I don't know, Axel, Faust, characters that suck at anti-airing this, you just cry. So I really like that they're making this move easier to anti-air. Other than that, I mean, not too much. Reduce the lower hitbox on far standing slash, making it a little bit easier to counter poke. This move was very, very broken before, so makes sense. And then crouching slash you can use with dash momentum to, you know, give him a poke to kind of make up for that nerf. So nerfs to air 2K, good stuff. But they did reduce the knockback, which that is a buff actually. Now Chipp will be closer to the opponent, and since he's plus, he'll be able to pressure more on hit or on block. So this move did get buffed as well, but it's going to be a little bit easier to anti-air now. I really like that. All right, Potemkin got some somewhat minor buffs, I would say. Forward plus kick, reduced recovery. It's more difficult for the opponent to punish when they block the latter half of the active frames. Okay. And then Heat Knuckle. This is a pretty clever change, I think. You gain tension gauge when Heat Knuckle is blocked, and you greatly increase the opponent's risk level on block. So Heat Knuckle is kind of a weird move because it's an anti-air grab, but it is blockable. So I find this happens a lot when I'm fighting Potemkin. I just hold up back, and if they Heat Knuckle, I just block it, and I'm like, okay, it's better than getting grabbed. But now they're giving him some nice rewards on block. They're really increasing your risk level if you block it, and they're giving Potemkin some risk. So I think that's pretty cool. Something that I've thought about is like Skullgirl's Cerebella has a very similar anti-air grab, and they coded that move in a special way where it's unblockable if the opponent is on the way up from a jump, but it's blockable if the opponent is on the way down. So if you call out up back, you can get an unblockable anti-air, but if you're just using it as a normal anti-air on a jump in, they can block it. So I feel like something like that would be cool for Potemkin, but that's kind of like a crazy out there change. This is a little more traditional, and I think it's a good way of sort of giving you a reward. If you know the opponent is holding up back as Potemkin, you should probably get rewarded for making the read. So this is a nice little advantage that he gets now that he didn't get before. All right, Faust, he got some decent buffs. I would say they didn't like blow Faust out of the water here, but he got some stuff. So they improved his pokes, standing heavy slash and crouching heavy slash. So I think they want him to be able to just apply pressure and poke better from mid screen. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Jump 2K, sped up startup, good. That move was very slow before. Reduced hurt box before it comes out, good. And adjusted opponent blowback on hit. So the idea here, I believe, is just that when he's in mid range, you know, he's going to be threatening you with his heavy slash normals and with jump 2K, so he's got another angle to approach you from, maybe canceling into the bomb. We'll have to see exactly how this plays out. And now his super wall breaks in the corner. It's about time. He could probably use the meter, let's be honest. So, okay. Millia. Man, they gave Millia some stuff, man. This character's good. What? Do people not believe that Millia is good? They gave her some really good stuff. Reduced recovery on standing heavy slash. Let's go. This move is already crazy, right? And slash version of tandem top, which is her fireball, now able to be comboed into off hit confirms. All right. Iron Savior, that's the hair car. Looks like a bug fix. And then Lust Shaker, which is like her like poke, like 100-hand slap type move. Sped up startup. This move was not bad, man. But they went and buffed it. All right. I'm gonna be very scared of Millia after the patch, to be honest. Like, she was a very scary character, I think, and she's gonna be a lot better. I think especially like the standing heavy slash, being able to hit confirm into fireballs. Those are good changes. They might seem subtle, but I think it's going to matter a lot. I think she's going to be very scary. Zato, again, I love this intention here. We've mainly improved his options when he cannot summon Eddie. So I think one of Zato's issues, I do think he's a very strong character, but the thing is, he is really, really busted when he has Eddie, and then he becomes pretty weak when Eddie is gone. So they're working on that a little bit, buffing standing heavy slash, buffing 6p. I like that on grounded hit, this launches the opponent now, so you don't end up with those weird situations where like they're up close to you, just got hit by a 6p, you're still kind of in a bad situation, you know, because the opponent's right in your face. So I don't really understand this summon Eddie change. I mean, fixed a bug where Eddie could take other actions midair during leap. So yeah, if someone wants to explain that to me, I don't really get it. I don't play Zato, but yeah, Zato, minor buffs, he's already really good. I like this 6p buff especially. I think that's pretty good. Ramlethal, very minor buffs. One slight nerf here, reduced hitbox in front and behind on aerial heavy slash. Let me tell you, as an Axel player, I love to see that. That move was impossible to anti-air before, so I like that. Daro, which is like her DP, where she like leaps forward and slashes the air. Increased forward movement. They want you to be able to use that in mid-screen combos. Sounds good to me. And then Aggressa Ordono, which is like her jumping, like double sword swing special move. Floats the opponent on grounded hit only if you have both swords. So they're trying to give you some more benefit if you land a hit with this move. I don't think this move was very widely used before. So it seems nice. I do like that with a lot of characters, they're picking out what are the moves that no one ever uses because they're a little bit weak and they're making them a little bit better. So I think that's an example of that. Seems good. Ram, obviously a contender for top tier right now. She didn't need too much. So one minor nerf and a couple minor buffs. All right, now we're getting crazy, guys. Leo got a big buff. And he was already good, right? Don't we can admit, I know Sonic Fox has been downplaying, but we can admit that Leo is really crazy, right? So now, okay, you always move towards the opponent if you use the dash button. So this is to prevent accidental backdashing when you're in back turn stance. Who cares? But you can jump or dash cancel his back turn kick. Why? Arcsys, why? He didn't need this. His mix-up is already insane when he's in back turn. He doesn't need this. He's got a 16-frame overhead. Unseeable low. Command throw. He didn't need it. Why? Why are they buffing Leo? He's already good. This is crazy. Okay, listen. I'm being hyperbolic a little bit. Leo was not like top 3 in the game. Or was he? Maybe he was. Hard to say. But this seems really good, right? It's not just me. This seems insane. Dash can't... What? Because now it's like a frame trap. You can do like kick, or you can do kick dash. Like, they gotta be scared. And you can do kick dash overhead. This is messing with me, bro. Why'd they do this? Why'd they do that? I'm so scared of Leo. I play Axel, so Axel, I like that matchup with Leo. So I'm okay with more people playing Leo, but man... I can't believe they did that. Nagoriyuki, another character that clearly did not need buffs, but they gave him some buffs. I like it. The rich get richer. Let's go. 6p increased startup. Yeah, this move was pretty slow before, pretty bad as an anti-air, so I like that. This might help in matchups such as Chipp, where he just gets up in front of you and you like can never anti-air him, so that would be nice. Far standing slash, the third hit, increased the amount of blood gauge recovered. I like that. That's a very flavorful change. It's like now you can like always end with that third hit and get more blood back, or you can choose to gain more blood by, you know, canceling into a special move or something. So I like that change quite a bit. And this is just like a minor bug fix to his super. Sometimes if they were like on your shoulder, like behind you, when you do super, you won't get the full animation and they just drop out. So they're fixing that, but they are maintaining his ability to intentionally miss the animation when they're in front of you and then combo off it. So he's kind of getting the best of both worlds here. They're keeping some of his damaging combo options off his super, as well as fixing the issue where you don't get the animation when you want it. So yeah, nice stuff for Nagoriyuki, man. Let me tell, as someone who I mainly play Axel and Nagoriyuki, two very good characters who are only getting better in this patch, I'm pretty happy. Although, to be honest, every character is getting better, basically. Only a couple of characters are getting, like, minor nerfs. For the most part, I think every character is going to end up in a better place after the patch. Giovanna, she can combo 5p into 6p. I don't really care. I guess that's fine. Like, her 5p, I think, is like a 4-frame move, so it's nice that she actually has like a good way to combo off it. So you can get some 4-frame punishes now. That's good. And then 6H, you know, she can do like 6HHH. It's kind of like a Rekka. It now knocks the opponent down on hit. I feel like this is kind of like a clever, see, you're in a better position for Okizeme, so you can make a choice. You can do like a more optimal ender for damage, or you can do 6HHH. And get an Okizeme ender on your combo. So I think that's clever. You have to make a choice there. Now, Anji might have low-key gotten the craziest buff in the game. He might have gotten the craziest buff. Okay, far standing slash, reduced recovery. Fine. Shin Ichishiki. This is the move where he jumps and he throws his 2 fans at you. Extended the hitbox, increased active time. And then this is his ground super. They increased the hitbox. That's fine. But let's talk about the crazy one. Fujin made it possible to cancel into its various follow-up attacks even when whiffed. And this is the crazy part. The motion begins before the attack is active. So that's kind of hard to read. But I found a tweet. According to Giosua on Twitter here, what this says in Japanese is you can do Fujin follow-ups before Fujin becomes active at all. So, you know, that's kind of what it says here, right? The motion begins before the attack is active. But basically what they're saying is, like, you can just, like, do the startup of Fujin and then quickly do a follow-up before the Fujin comes out. So basically you can just do raw overheads, raw lows, raw hop, crazy stuff. So this, it might not seem like it, but this drastically increases his mix-ups. Because one of the big problems with Anji, you know, he's got this whole like high-low throw mix-up, but you always know it's coming because you always block Fujin, and then you're like, okay, let me watch for the overhead and then see it. So it's always so predictable, and it's like a 20-something frame overhead, so you're probably going to be able to block it if you're like really laser focusing on it. But now he's going to be so much more unpredictable. He's also going to be able to do new Oki setups, like he can hit you super meaty with like a Fujin overhead or something in situations where he wouldn't be able to before. You'll also be able to do like his hop mix-ups in situations you couldn't before. Like this seems so good. They were talking about how they want to give more freedom to the characters that feel a little bit linear, and I think this is exactly what that means. Like this opens up a lot of potential for the character. So amazing change. It might seem minor, but I promise you this is going to be huge. He's going to have way more mix-up, way more Okizeme, way more possibilities. Maybe even combo stuff could be changed as well, because now he can just go straight into Fujin follow-ups without doing Fujin first. So, man, Anji players, you guys better be happy about this one. Ino got a lot of buffs, but it's kind of hard to understand exactly how far it's going to go. Increased movement speed and distance of her hover dash. Like, it's hard to, that could be amazing. That could make her top tier, or it could be minor. It just depends on like how big of a buff it is. But hey, expanded her options for Okizeme and neutral. I think this was like really her biggest problem. It's just that it's kind of hard for her to win neutral because of her awkward movement. So, could be nice. Standing heavy slash now floats the opponent, so you'll get new combo opportunities there. Sweep, reduced blowback on hit, so I'm guessing that's meant to get easier Okizeme if you get a sweep. Adjusted hit effect on grounded opponents on aerial dust, so I think they want you to be able to get better combos off aerial dust. Heavy slash stroke the big tree, reduced knockbacks, so now you should be able to more successfully pressure the opponent with the plus frames that you get on that. And then ultimate fortissimo, which is like her invincible super, that now has increased forward movement. So yeah, nice suite of buffs. A lot of people feel like Ino is maybe not that strong because of her big downsides in neutral. Seems nice. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but, you know, it seems nice. More combo options, better neutral options, better pressure off heavy slash stroke. Seems good. We'll see how it turns out. And then finally, the man Goldlewis. A lot of people talking about this character being low tier. A little bit disappointed with how he turned out in the game. I think this is a really nice change. Skyfish will now be buffed depending on the security level. It provides a major advantage on hit at level 3 in particular. So this was one of my complaints, is I feel like Skyfish, you know, it's good that it goes through everything, yada yada, the bullets move fast, but you just don't get anything when it hits. So now you get a major advantage on level 3 Skyfish. What do we think that means? Skyfish is the chain gun, by the way. What do we, is it going to knock down? Are you going to be able to do Skyfish, RC Skyfish? That would be nice. Are you going to be able to do like Skyfish, RC Drift Forward, Dash Up Behemoth Typhoon? A man can dream. Probably not, but a man can dream. We'll see exactly what this means, but I like that change. I was kind of hoping they would buff the speed that he builds security level. Looks like they're not changing that just now, but yeah, you know, I like that change. Sped up the startup on 6p. We'll see if that matters. I don't know if that really matters. And then, you know, reduce knockback crouch K, bug fix on his super, whatever. I don't really think any of this matters except the Skyfish change. I don't think he's going to get that much better, but we'll have to see how this plays out. If he could actually, like, get something decent off this, at least, like, some Oki or something, that could be a really nice buff. Help him win neutral. Just chill on your meter till you land a level 3 Skyfish, and then you get in. And goldlewis is really, really good when he gets in. Don't let people downplay you that hard. He's amazing when he gets in. He just really struggles because he's so slow and clunky. So this could help with that. I like that change. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the patch notes. So, you know, I feel like the big winners of the patch, Anji, I think, is definitely a contender for big winner. I also think that nagoriyuki and Axel, like, it's just crazy that they got big buffs despite already being really good characters. The big loser, honestly, probably Soul. Soul actually got, like, a couple sizable nerfs. He got buffs as well, but, you know, sizable nerfs. Slight nerfs to Mei. We'll have to see how easy it is to anti-air Chipp jump 2k. If this move is actually easy to anti-air now, Chipp could lose a lot of ground. But if it's still a good move, you know, Chipp could still be really good. So, yeah, you know, I don't think this patch is, like, going to completely shift the tier list upside down or anything. But I think they're going to accomplish what they set out to do, which is basically just, like, the couple guys at the top, make them a little bit more reasonable. And then these guys down here who are a little bit weaker, make them a little bit better and get things a little bit closer together. So I think that's what they're going for. I think the game sounds like it's going to be more fun, especially characters like Anji and maybe Faust as well, who felt a little bit limited before. Might have a little bit more fun now. And people like me who are just picking top tiers, nagoriyuki, we're just going to keep having a good time and winning with this character. So I'm looking forward to that. But let me know what you think. Are you excited? Any big disappointments for you in the patch? Anything you wish they changed that they didn't? Let me know down in the comments. And that's going to be it for the video. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.